So the idea of engaging the students more and also making some use of what Second Life is effective for, because there's no point just standing here and doing a presentation when there's so much that can actually occur within a space like this. So where this idea came from is a friend of mine called Karina Gervin at Trinity College Dublin, and she created something called story cubes, and these cubes are just straightforward single prims, and which she got her students to put images on each side. And then, because they're cubes, you can stack them in different arrangements, and each way that they're stacked, you will then get a different series of images, and therefore this will be a springboard to telling a story of some sort. So I thought this is a great idea for getting the students to reconceptualize, or at least conceptualize, their identity. And this is a process called reification. Reification is a word that's used a lot by Wenger in his communities of practice model. And I've got a sort of a screen grab of a book just to prove that I'm not making this word up. But he talks about thingness, and the thingness of an idea is that so much of the stuff that we do and we talk about is abstract. It exists only as words, and because it only exists as some sort of dialogue, it becomes more difficult to interact with. However, if we actually give it thingness, we make an object from it, and this could still just be a mind map, or it could be a document, or anything like that, but an object that everyone else can then take a look at and start to interact with, and start to mould in some way. Now, the idea is that by creating one of these identity cubes, we create an object for the students to build, and not only that, but they can add images to it, and it gives them something to interact with, but also something for everyone else to take a look at while they're talking. And as you can see from this video, it actually works. Once they've got these images here, once they're actually able to stand next to them, and for everybody else to walk over and stand next to them and look at what they're doing, then it gives them something concrete to start talking about, and then something concrete for people to ask questions about. What we find is often that the students will talk about what they're interested in. This is what I do, and so it takes another couple of questions to get at the question of, well, why is it that you choose to do that? What is it about, I don't know, wrestling that attracts you? What is it about art? Do you see yourself, and what is it about your football team? And they will come out with responses like, well, I suppose I support Arsenal because my dad supported Arsenal, and so therefore you get it, well, family is very important. These are all questions that they can then start working at when they do their assignments for Rich. But also it gives them a way to think about, well, how are they redefining themselves within this virtual environment? What is it about their physical world identity that is transferring into the virtual world? And what is it that's different about what happens when they go into a virtual world? You'll often find students will saying that they are they're more open, they're more risk-taking, all these sorts of things. But to really get at this sort of information requires some sort of dialogue. So what we're looking at really is the reification tool, and as an aside, this is one of the things that Second Life or any virtual world is really effective at, is yes, we can do simulation, yes, we can do role play, and yes, we can actually take them on field trips to places that don't exist anymore, but it also gives us a way, an environment to make the abstract concrete. We can represent metaphorical things in a way within a virtual world that we can't do within the physical world, and so therefore I think it's one of the ways in which teaching within virtual worlds is at some point in the educational process extremely useful, if not essential. Okay, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about the teaching that I do with Rich and Julian, and some of the ideas that inform it. this is the really frustrating part of the presentation, which is that I would be really interested to hear what questions you've got. So please, if you've got anything you want to get in touch with me about, you can email me at mark.childs@coventry.ac.uk, or you can IM me in world as Gan McGann, and I'd be really interested to hear what your feedback, your thoughts, and any questions that you've got. Okay, thank you very much, and hopefully at the next workshop I'd be able to see you in person, or at least as an avatar in some way.